They fell for your light, but now they're drowning in the truth it exposed. Love woke them. Regret baptized them. Now they're coming undone for you. You were the prayer they never thought God would answer so vividly. Their heart cracked open when they realized what you carried. They touched you and saw everything they weren't ready to heal. You didn't seduce them, you awakened them. They fell for you, and the fall rewrote their eternity. Your love was never casual, it was a consecration. Their soul remembered yours, even when their mind denied it. They weren't scared of losing you. They were scared of becoming who you deserve. The moment they touched your hand, their past shattered. You were the divine reroute. They still haven't recovered. They called it a mistake, but heaven called it a mirror. What they felt for you ruined what they could settle for. Their love didn't break them. Their resistance did. You lit their silence on fire. They never left you. They left who they couldn't be near you. You were the prophecy they tried to outrun. They were strong, until your eyes remembered them. They didn't plan to fall, but your soul pulled destiny out of hiding. You reminded them of God, and it terrified their ego. They tasted your truth. Now their lies are starving. Your love confronted their mask. They can't forget you because they never actually had you. You ruined their apathy with reverence. You didn't steal their heart. You revealed it. They fell for you, and their whole life unraveled, beautifully. They regret leaving. Not because they lost you, but because they lost themselves. You didn't love them. You resurrected them. The day you walked away was the day they woke up. They never planned to fall for someone holy. You were the warning and the wonder. They hid their feelings, but heaven exposed their soul. You were the fire their numbness couldn't survive. They lied to everyone except their heartbeat. They fell for you in silence. Now the silence is screaming. Their world can't hold what your love ignited. They knew the risk. They just didn't know the ache. They thought they could replace you. Now they pray just to remember you. You left a silence too holy to fill. They fell for you and saw every wound they tried to bury. You weren't a crush. You were a cosmic confrontation. Their logic failed the day your spirit touched theirs. They blamed timing, but it was their fear that failed you. You became their most dangerous prayer. They still see you in every regret, every dream, every undone vow. They didn't fall for your body. They collapsed under your soul. You were too much only because they weren't ready to be more. Their new life feels empty because your love was eternal. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. They ran from you, but you still haunt their healing. You weren't love. You were redemption they couldn't hold. They fell, and everything they thought they knew crumbled. You held them like they weren't broken, and that broke them. You saw through them. That's why they left. Their heart recognized you before they did. They fell in slow silence, and now they're drowning in it. Your soul wasn't a match. It was a mission. They mistook comfort for love until you showed up. You weren't unforgettable. You were undeniable. They loved you deeply, but their ego screamed louder. You weren't a chapter. You were the book. They feel your absence like a heartbeat gone missing. You cracked their illusions with your holiness. They said it was nothing, but their spirit still trembles. You didn't just love them. You named them. They touched God the moment they touched you. They still rehearse the words they never said. You healed a part of them they swore was dead. They feel you in every blessing they can't explain. You didn't ruin them. You revealed them. They confused your sacred with their shadow. Every time they see you smile, they break again. They crave your energy more than your body. You weren't a person. You were a mirror of everything they buried. They remembered your voice long after forgetting their own. They fell and finally understood what surrender feels like. Your name is still the prayer they don't admit praying. You didn't fall in love. You fell into remembrance. They feel exposed because your love saw past their pride. You showed them God's mercy, and now nothing else compares. You taught them silence can scream. They never imagined love would undo them. You were the consequence of their shallow yes. Their heart still bends toward you when the world sleeps. You didn't teach them love. You taught them reverence. Their love turned to ashes. Yours turned to altar. They lost you, but your echo never left them. You weren't safe, but you were sacred. They feel you most in their proudest lies. You didn't chase them. You haunted them. They feel insane, but it's just your love refusing to die. They saw you as human, until you left and became holy. You weren't the lesson. You were the awakening. They thought love meant comfort. You gave them confrontation. You still live in their paws. They lost more than love. They lost their mirror. Their soul aches where your name used to live. You were the shift no one saw coming. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. They caught your collapse. God caught your calling. You were exposed in public, but healed in private. That clip was cruel, but your comeback is sacred. The footage faded. Your faith didn't. You didn't lose dignity. You gained destiny. They laughed at your fall. God prepared your flight. The worst part went viral. So will your voice. You were exposed, but not abandoned. That was their proof. But God wrote your promise. It broke the internet, but it built your intimacy with God. Your pain was posted. Your purpose will be published. They thought it was your end. God marked it as your beginning. What embarrassed you now empowers you. That video scarred you, but grace is sealing it now. You don't need to explain the footage. Let your future speak. The exposure was real, but so is the anointing rising from it. They uploaded a breakdown. God is downloading a breakthrough. Yes, you were seen. Now let them see your healing too. It was never about shame. It was about surrender. The camera exposed the fall. Heaven exposes the favor. They shared your lowest. Watch God share your legacy. The enemy used it to mock you. God used it to mold you. That frame held your failure, but it couldn't hold your future. Even the worst footage can be redeemed in God's edit. You thought it was the end, but heaven wrote to be continued. The clip showed chaos. God is now revealing your crown. That public pain activated a private promise. Let them press play. You're pressing forward. They saw exposure. God saw elevation. That footage gave the enemy a laugh. Now watch God give you a legacy. The film tried to define you. God redefined you. The spotlight didn't burn you, it baptized you. That moment wasn't your identity. It was your invitation. They recorded your fall. God is recording your rise. You were framed, but God's favor can't be filtered. It was broadcast to break you, but it built something eternal. What was meant to be shame is now your sanctuary. Let them scroll. Your soul is being sanctified. God didn't stop the leak. He used it to start your liberation. They wanted views. God wanted victory. This is your healing, not their highlight.